Guess who I now follow on TikTok also?
Who?
The company that makes those planners that they gave us in middle school with the whooshy whooshy cover that you hate.
Oh, God.
They'll make them.
Now I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, well. I'm not a good friend if I don't torture you a little bit over something really weird.
Maddie tortures me over that. She goes, I'm going to scratch it. I'm like, oh. Oh, Jesus.
An 8-year-old terror.
Yeah. She doesn't understand why it's a weird thing. I'm like, everybody has a weird thing.
Everybody has a thing. But I get it. Sometimes if you do it the wrong way, it's but okay, I'll stop talking about it. I'll stop talking about the big cup instead. I'm just kidding.
Shifty work into the box. And across, it's in! Oh, it's Lowe! It's a dream return!
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Casual FC, an Angel City match preview and footy therapy pod featuring 2 podcast-certified footy therapists. I'm your very tired and sleepy host, Angela Morales, with my sleepy and very tired co-host, Mario Salazar. May was a lot. My birthday, your birthday, Mother's Day, my mom's birthday, Maddie, your daughter's birthday, my best friend's birthday, like everyone who could have a birthday's birthday, million things, Disneyland, you guys went to Legoland, lots of lands, lots of birthdays. We take 1 week off.
1 week.
For an international break / maybe I just needed more than 5 hours of sleep for one night and I was maybe not okay. Just to kind of recover from life. We take 1 week off and now there's 9 million things to talk about, which is good. Honestly, I'm actually glad we took it off because we would have recorded and I would have been pissed. And then this happened and this happened and then this happened and this happened. So whatever. But we're here. As I said in our last episode, we're here, we're queer, and happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride. It is now officially June. So this is our match preview of the Pride match. The match on Saturday, June 6th versus the Chicago Stars. FC, sure, if you want to go by that now.
It's the Red Stars. Which feels disrespectful. I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
Someone who's ever going to purposefully name someone, unless it's a branding dumb decision.
Twitter, the Red Stars. I don't know. Capri Sun in a jug. I've been asking for a Capri Sun in a jug my whole life, and now I get it, and I'm like, I hate this. I said a couple episodes I got 2 like big bottles of it. I have not touched the second one because I'm like, it's too much.
It's too much. I have no self-control. I told you.
These are perfectly portioned pouches.
Yeah, I have to take my time. Otherwise, I'm just like, I don't know. That's dangerous.
So yes, our match against Chicago Stars FC at BMO Stadium this weekend, 7 p.m. Broadcast schedule is going to be on ION TV, and you can also hear it on iHeartRadio and 13:30 a.m. in Spanish.
I think it's
Yeah. And like we said, it's June. It's Pride Night. It's the Pride Night match. FanFest. There is going to be an official FanFest thrown by the ACFC. It's going to be 3 o'clock till the game starts. Lots of activities. Last time they had a dance-off and
stuff last year. I'm assuming
a ton of activations.
Yeah, very similar. I will not be at FanFest because I'm getting my hair cut that day. I'll be racing to the game from Long Beach. Fingers crossed I get a bandana. I'll be very upset if I don't.
I may or may not be there, mainly because adulting and parenting. Really parenting, not adulting, just parenting. And, kids' birthdays that just come up like one right after the other. So we're in that season right now. And it was like, and I'm totally letting her choose. So I'm like, do you want to go to the game or do you want to go to your friend's pool party? And she's so
Ooh, that's tough. Because I know she has a lot of fun at the games, but a pool party when you're like 8, because then you end up like, I don't know if kids still do this, but like pool parties, you had pizza and grapes, or sandwiches and grapes after swimming for 2 hours. And then there's either cake or, do you remember those Mrs. Fields cookie cakes?
Yeah.
Where it's just like a big ass cookie. Oh my God.
It depends, because we've gone to a couple friends of her friends' birthdays where they're like very much like what we grew up on. It's just like pizza, some like fruit, and like fun. And then there was others that have gone for the full spread and like tiny sandwiches and and I'm like, no,
I want like a 6-foot long Subway sandwich that's been cut up into pieces. You know what I mean? Or like a sandwich tray.
I want this, the sandwich tray from Vons. Yeah. That's what I want.
Yes. Give me a sandwich tray from a grocery store, like a 6-foot long burrito, like something like so outrageous that you're like, who eats this? And it's only for moments like that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Like,
so
2-3 hours of swimming in a pool and then eating like a fistful of grapes and 3 slices of pizza and then just getting back in the pool.
Yeah.
Few things better in my memories.
So we've got that going, and
we'll enjoy the pool party because that's what she's going to pick.
Yeah. So there's a possibility I might head in later by myself instead of taking the whole crew, but that's a slim one. But either way, I will be enjoying it on Ion TV if I stay home. And like we were saying, Pride Night FanFest starts at 3:00. There's going to be tons of activations, face paint, music, DJs, probably live performances because there were last year. There was
all sorts
of dance
food.
Off, all sorts of stuff. And all the SGs are going to be doing their tailgates for all of these things. So whenever there's a FanFest, SGs are always going to be there, and we'll always do the roundup, and it just sounds like a blast. It's always a blast. Have fun. There is a gate giveaway. It's a Pride bandana, which is like the staple. They've just gone like with bandana every year. Mm-hmm. Although I'm glad that they're changing the design of it every year. Yeah. But it's like, what are we going to do for Pride like, bandana.
And that's why I'm like stressed, because my mom and I have back-to-back appointments in Seal Beach, and we have to haul ass to BMO. There's a half marathon in Inglewood, and I'm like,
you knew what day it was.
I know, but it's a long story. And we've got a lot to talk about.
Okay, well, yes, that was what we're going to be talking about eventually once we get to it.
Exactly. So Pride, along with everything that's going on at FanFest, the very cool thing is that our supporter groups are known for the community work they do. And with that is also fundraising. So why do I sound Canadian today also? Oh my God. It's because I'm tired and I don't know what's happening. We
said we were tired.
But there are multiple Pride raisers going on. So for those of you that don't know, there's a company, like a fundraising company called Pride Raiser, that does online fundraising for different events like that are related to the LGBTQ community. It's just dope. It's so cool, everything they do. You pledge. It's not like a normal fundraiser too. It's not, just give money. It's like you pledge for like how many goals somebody picks, or this year it's corner kicks and or goals for one of the campaigns. And it's just like it could be $1. It could be, you could raise, if you can afford 50 cents per goal. Let's say we score 10 goals, then this is too much math for my brain. Let's say like it's like your old school jogathon, right? Yes. You put an amount, and every time it happens, every lap you do, that's what you're promising to donate. Because I needed an analogy and I could not find one, and now I'm like, oh yeah, like a jump-a-thon with jump ropes and like all that kind of stuff that we used to do. And now we get to do it with money.
So the two groups that the SGs are supporting is Brave Trails and Rainbow Labs.
Yes, Rainbow Labs. Thank you.
Yeah. So go check out the social media channels from all the supporters groups. You'll find the information there, or you can actually just go to prideraiser.org. It's org.com does not work. They should really just buy .com and redirect it.
I know.
Either way, it's .org, and then you can actually find them directly there. And yeah, it's great. Qualifies for all the June matches.
Yeah, so we can really raise a lot of money, guys. I need to actually, I am terrible at following through with online things because I forget they exist because they're not tangible. But this year my goal is to do a little donation to both of them. So we'll see. But into the soccer, or before we get to the super soccer of it all, I'm going to skip ahead and steal one of Mario's tidbits because it ties into pride. The pride numbers this year on the jerseys, I hate them. I hate them because where are they? Is pride in the room with us? Are we getting scared? Are we bending a knee? Like what is this?
So it feels like they went backwards on this. Like,
well, yeah. Like we went from having as a league bold, big, kind of ugly, which I thought was great. Like it was almost campy in how weird they looked. Inclusive like the newer rainbow flag with the trans pride flag colors, the black and brown for the different minority groups. Like one of those where everything is encapsulated in like the number one, like it's just like a bunch of little lines. And that was great. And everybody was like, this is sick. We got all kinds of colors. This is so cool. This year, it's like an even thinner outline than the last ones. It's like, how small can we make this so that it's still pride, but it's not going to piss off the people who don't want to believe that gay people exist? That's what it feels like. And I think a lot of other people think that. And there's been some other stuff that's happened lately and statements made where I'm pretty sure the league is shifting, and I don't like it.
It's stupid. It's exactly what we were saying, that it becomes this little outline. It becomes a whisper of pride, which is like
the opposite
of what you're trying to do. Look,
commit or don't.
I know at a certain point the numbers are like performative, right? It's you can only wear the pride numbers during June, and then after that you go back to your regular numbers. There's that little aspect of it, right? Yeah. But it also means a lot to your fan base, and it means a lot among a lot of the people, sports out there, right?
Who walked away from the national team because they would have had to wear pride numbers. So say it with your chest.
Yeah.
Like, just what's wrong with having a fucking rainbow on your back for 2 hours? I don't understand. Like, I'm grateful, but I'm not appreciative of the impending erasure of pride numbers, because like you said, is it performative? Yes, but give it to me. And people are like, for no other reason, people are willing to pay money for big ass rainbow numbers on your back. You have queer players, you have people in the community that like allies amongst women's soccer who go to battle harder than, like, it's just, there's so much with this. But the very cool thing,
I'm gonna throw this out.
Ooh.
It's kind of tradition for Angel City to get fined for some stupid shit every year.
Right, where old school pride numbers be like,
so let's go to the team store, do the old numbers on the kits.
There's leftovers.
Yeah.
You only need a couple.
And wear those on the field.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. But the cool thing about the Pride collection that the NWSL has put out is that the Nicole Barnhart, who we have spoken about many times on this podcast because she's great and I love her, and she just recently retired, designed like this year's Pride shirt, and it's dope.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
It's really cool. Yeah, I like it.
It's a beautiful design. She did an amazing job. And it's just a really great representation of what Pride should be. Anyway, now getting into the soccer of it all. Hit us with the bullet points of everything that happened over the last week and a half. It's a lot.
It's a lot. So, Strauss is officially here.
Dun, 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 dun,
we signed 2 new players. We have 2 players on injury. That's a lot, right?
Yeah. Like, circumstantially just sucked.
Yeah. Okay, but with the news that when you keep reading into it just sounds better every time, Strauss is here. So let's talk about that real quick. Like, no more Slay. Slay is out.
We'll get to the last game, but there's some shit to say.
There was glimpses. We like I'm not gonna hide it. We were saying, hey,
Sometimes
shit's looking good. It looks like we were gelling. It looks like Sam had some type of plan, and then it just all went to shit.
And then the 24th happened. That I'm just glad you didn't. At least you didn't see the game.
Yeah, I didn't see the game because it was my birthday and then my daughter's birthday, so we were.
There was a lot going on.
There was a lot going on that weekend. You know, we were at my parents' for my daughter's birthday, and then the following day was my birthday, and then so a lot of stuff going on. So I wasn't at the game. Discord was popping off. But again, we'll get to that. We're talking about Strauss. He is officially here. June 1st was his like official start date, and you know he probably got the HR onboarding, and he got his like password, and you know had to reset it, doing all the good stuff.
Yeah.
But yes,
which is super exciting. I hope that whenever like new coaches or new heads of something come in, there's always like a first day, like not quite training, like team training. It's like that. This is what I am. This is what I do. This is where I'm hoping we go. Let's have some fun. You know, hands in, 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? It's always that. And I just hope that whatever that was for the team, I hope it went well. I hope there's so much good that's already happened this week because I feel like the whole team's needed it. They needed the break mentally, emotionally, physically.
We're gonna get the new coach bounce, right?
Yeah. But I think the new coach bounce might just be like a step up. It's like we just jump to that step up and we stay there. That's what I think is going to happen.
I'm hoping that he has the eye to recognize the pieces that we have, because we've talked about this till we've turned blue. We have the pieces. We're good on paper. We've been good on the field, but then there's things that, you know, whether within our control or not or out of our control, there's things that just kind of hinder that.
Yeah.
And hopefully I mean, with all the successes that he's had in the Bundesliga and in the national team that he was, the U23s that he was coaching, it was one of the U teams.
Yeah.
and all the successes that they had means that he has an eye for that player development. He has an eye of like where all those pieces need to go and how to adjust when you need to adjust, right? So hopefully that is definitely coming with him, and that is something that we can. I wonder if he'll get
subs before the 85th minute.
I wonder if he'll play one of our highest played and most anticipated players, and the player that everybody wants to see on the player that actually does shit like immediately once she plays. It'd be amazing.
Who knew it could happen? There's going to be a lot of snark throughout this episode, my friends. So Get ready, be prepared. We are salty.
Okay. But the other thing is that we got 2 new signings. One of them that caused a lot of questions for a lot of people, which was we signed a third keeper, Hannah Siebert. She's our permanent third keeper.
Yeah.
Now, if you think back to when we signed our current third keeper, she was signed onto one of those newly made up positions contracts that was like a temporary, like part-time contract. Like it was the contract like ends in June. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like it's not like where the contract was for like a year and a half and then her contract ended midway through a season. It was, no, you just got signed up now from whenever they signed you up till June. And we have 2 players on that type of contract. So that means by the end of this month, those 2 players are either out of contract and won't be on the team. They might hang around and they might
transition to like practice squad kind of thing.
Yeah. Or they might be given a contract. But at this point for the keeper, that's not going to happen because we signed Hannah as our like permanent third keeper, and Hannah comes. She has the knowledge, the history, the skill, like the veteran leadership, right? The chops. And I think Angelina at this point is still going to be our keeper.
For sure.
She's still going to. She has that, but like we've always said, the keeper position is really the one where you have it until you lose it. But I think she can only get better by learning or by practicing and talking with a veteran keeper that way.
And Hannah Siebert has international experience, so it's more diverse experience. It's like the other Hannah. We now have a trio of Hannahs, kind of, but we have Hannah Stambaugh, who is on the Japanese national team or within that realm, but is still very young. Still hasn't had a lot of call-ups and experience that way, so it's just going to be interesting. It's a different game, so I'm very curious to see kind of what happens. But she went to Pepperdine, she's from here. It's almost like a sense of bringing another person home, and bringing another person back to an environment that they succeeded in, that they did well in, and it's yay, another Angelino, another Californian, like that kind of thing. So her family can come see her a little bit easier, like that kind of thing. Portugal's far away.
Yeah.
Just saying, it's very far in comparison.
Yeah. And then the other signing that we had is a Icelandic forward. Actually, she was playing in the Bundesliga, but her name is Svendis Jonsdottir. I had
Good
to
job, Jonsdottir.
I had to phonetically spell it out so that I can get it in my head. Also goes by Jane in every single interview that I've looked up on her. She also goes by Jane. And I think that's just because it's like easier for some of the other players to say.
Probably.
Yeah. But she plays with the Iceland.
What Svindis like translates to or something like that, or like whatever it would be close to.
Yeah. But she coming from the Bundesliga from Wolfsburg, and she also plays for the Icelandic national team. So everybody that is more advanced and expert than I am was excited for this, and that excitement makes me excited because the name meant something to them. They were like, oh my god, we signed her, and I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah.
If other people are excited, I will also be excited until proven different.
It's like the one meme of everybody clapping around and the one person going, oh shit,
yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, totally.
I do you have anything else about her? Because that's
I don't, because I don't get to watch a lot of international soccer because of my job, but I have to have that in order to stay alive.
Yes. Yeah. But either way, I think we're excited to have just that influx of just, talent and just also a different mentality of playing, right? Someone that's coming from a different league, a different pace. We know that the NWSL is known as a fast-paced league, but also kind of a physical league.
Very physical league.
Which,
we'll get to that.
But having all of those little bits, and you might also think, oh, another forward. We've already got a whole bunch of forwards. Well, that leads into Sid, our beloved Sid, came back from her mental health leave, and she said she was going to come back, and she was just going to be Sid, and she was going to be the same person. She was going to come rock.
She was going to come back to herself, come back in her own, and
I think the Discord went crazy, and like when we didn't see her on the injured list for a game, we were like, she's off the list. Woo! Yeah. She's back. And then we got video of her practicing and all of that stuff.
And then the newest episode of BFFR came out.
And she has a big old boot on her leg.
And then we cried collectively as a fan base because Sid LaRue tore her calf. I don't know the severity. They haven't really talked about it, but I don't know if it's a baby tear or a big tear, but either way, damn, girl, I hate this for her.
It was a tear where when she talks about it, it was audible. Mm-hmm. Like she landed, she heard it. The coach on the side heard it, and they were like, oh yeah, that's not good. And the hard part with that is that it can be big or small, and you can still hear it depending on how it's done. Yeah. Okay. I say that from experience, unfortunately. But I'm so bummed because I know she was very excited to come back, and it's always a bummer to have a setback like that. But I think I'm like, we're going to be okay. She's going to be okay. It's going to give her the time to rehab. And it's just one of those like comedy of errors at this point, I think, where it's, Of course,
Sounds right.
Angel City's going to get injured and Angel City's going to get fined. That's just going to happen.
We have had news of a fine and we've already made it halfway through the season. So let's go.
Yep. Let's go. So, yeah, we have that. But I mean, with that, I think we're building up to this idea of, yes, we're going to be a little bit forward, because there was always, and it's never been quite true 100%, but Angels or the ownership group and the coaching staff has always tried to talk about Angel City as a high press, very forward, like attacking minded. We'll get there one day.
We've gotten close this season. But
as we're building that up. But, that's what it is. With Sid, we wish her all the best, wish her a speedy recovery. I hope that we get a Rookie of the Year moment where that muscle just kind of like comes back, that calf muscle, and she's just like running like crazy, even faster than she does already. And then the other news, which really have no other updates beyond what we got, so we'll see if she's on the injured list or not. But Giselle Thompson, we were all excited when she got the call up. Mm-hmm. So both Thompsons got the call up to, all three Thompsons got the call up to the national team. Their little sister got a call up.
And this is when like the majority of people found out they had a third sister.
Yeah.
Which was hysterical because I knew this. I don't remember how and when I learned it, but I knew that there was a third, like a younger one. I didn't know if she played like as seriously or not. But then seeing the third one.
When we were talking to Bridie and she was talking about like the just the younger siblings of players usually come in better than because they grow up in that environment. So now, and I think she mentioned that
the third Thompson, and we were like,
third Thompson. Mm-hmm.
But very fun to watch, like the country be like, I'm sorry, what? There's another one? Oh crap!
Yeah. So okay, and then the big question mark was Giselle was also being shown as a forward, as part of being called up as a forward, not as a defense. So everybody was like, ooh, how is that going to work? And then, before the first game even happens, we get the news that she was being sent home early due to an injured hip. It wasn't a severe injury. So the statement was, it wasn't a severe injury. She was being sent home as a precaution. And like, that's just what
and they weren't pulling someone else in. It was just like, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, they're friendlies, it's good for match experience and things like that. But I mean, you don't really need to right now. It's not like we're qualifying for anything at the moment. But so with that, we have another injury that we honestly don't know the severity of. It could have just been like she bruised her hip and then, now that week off that she had, she's fine now, or we're going to get her on the injured list come this next match. So
might take another week or so, but I generally think she's not going to be out for very long.
No. At the very least, it'll be like one match, but yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that just, and I have a feeling that there's probably something else that
there's for sure stuff we missed,
but
yeah.
But guys, I write these scripts like in between like projects, and when I have 5 minutes down here and there, they'll throw stuff together. I'm like on my break at work on my phone in a Google Doc, like writing things. Yeah. So sometimes we miss stuff, but I think that's the majority of the big things that happened at least. Yeah. All right. So back onto our normal schedule of stuff in our episodes. We've got the Chaos Award for that last match week, which is 2 weeks ago. And at this point,
Chaos Award is 100% the hair pull. Followed closely by the missed handball, which I don't know how was missed, but whatever. We're here. We made it through the night. But yeah, that's the number one. Is not even the hair pull, but like the hair pull roundabout, spin around.
The hair pull, the almost half headlock, and the shove down.
Yeah, there was a lot that happened. We'll
get
there in a minute. But then my second thing, most importantly, was last weekend was We Hope Pride, and the team posted a video of Macy Hodge and Lily Nabet full on just like starting the video going, "Good morning, lesbians." And it is the funniest thing. It's on TikTok and on Instagram. Even I have probably watched it 10, 15 times because it's just hysterical. It's just it felt like one of them walked up to the social media team and was like, "Give me your phone." We have this thing, we're just going to do it. It felt so instantaneous and I loved it. That's all. It's just fun because you can tell it was not scripted. Like it wasn't fake. It wasn't one of those where you're like, oh, hi, I'm Angela,
Yeah. Like, here, we need you to say this in front of camera. Really.
Exactly. No, it was just like, good morning, lesbians. Like, it was they were alert. There's probably 6 cups of iced coffee in them both. Yeah. Especially if you're walking in the WeHo Pride Parade. Whew, you have to be there early. You end up there late. It's a long... Parades are harder than you think if you've never walked in a parade. It might be like a quarter mile. It feels like it's 3 days long. Like, it's always too hot. Regardless of the temperature outside or too cold. There's no nice perfect time. But yeah.
Even when it's too cold, you might be overdressed and then it gets too hot.
You might have too many layers on or something. It's just they're hard. I've been in parades. I have worked the West Hollywood Pride Festival. There's a lot. A lot happens. But I hope everybody who was out there last weekend had fun. I hope everybody who's going to LA, like downtown LA Pride, whatever they call it. I hope everybody has fun this weekend. There's too many people for me, so I've done my time. Enjoy, my friends. But yeah, so
have fun.
Scores. Do we care?
No,
it's been a week and a half. Like there's
been a week and a half.
Break.
I forgot about it. I was looking for the post that I usually use to remind myself, and I couldn't find it. So I said, "Oh well, whatever." So the games happened. The main thing is what happened in our game. The good thing, or the thing, just the thing, is we're in 7th place. Yep. We're in 7th place after what happened last week. That's what really matters. Still in the playoff contention. We're getting close to that midpoint of the season. Keeping, we just got to keep padding those numbers and keep padding that. And that's really what we're looking for. We're looking to, keep cooking, keep figuring out, keep gelling, keep playing chess, and hopefully that just kind of gets us shift by shift up that ladder, and we can get us a good spot. But with that, I am going to rely a lot on Angela's recount of what has happened, and I'm sorry to make you recount all of this, but as I said, it was my daughter's birthday. We were having a family event, so I did not watch any of the match. I saw a few of the highlights, that the hair pull and the handball that was not called, and the Discord just popping off like crazy. And me going, guys, what's going on?
It's bad when we're at the stadium and everybody's in the Discord screaming.
Yeah.
So, game starts.
Normally on a good match, we'll get like a handful of like Discord
it's like, yay,
messages.
we scored. Or, wow, that was a missed call. Like just one person.
Yeah.
It's just Mario from home. It's like, hello.
It's me from home.
Yeah. Totally.
And me filling in everybody on, oh yeah, I see the camera angle right now. Here's what's
this
going
is what
on.
happened. Yeah. Or like people who don't live in the area are like telling us what's happening on the broadcast. We're like screenshots from group text, like that kind of thing. Yeah. So the final score was 3-2 Racing. Incredibly controversial. I also now understand more of the controversy around the Portland game because I don't understand why Racing is the way Racing is. Because, like I said in our preview episode, they are a good team. They don't need to resort to like shitty behavior because you're good. You don't like, and you don't have to do that anyway, but especially if you're like decent and you can hold your own and you can be in the middle of the pack, why are you doing that? So we talked about Ari Borges being out, and that was her last game of her like extra suspension after a red card. And I was like, we got to put up or shut up. Yeah. It was additional. Like, so she had the one game and an extra 3 games. So the game starts. The lineup is, how do I say this nicely? Because I like sports and eventually I want to work in the sports industry without burning bridges. What was that? What was that? It made no sense. It felt like a couple games ago when we were all like, do you know who's on your team? Or, because here's the thing. I am an incredibly competitive person. Part of the reason why I never wanted to be a coach is because of how competitive I am. Because I don't want to put my like bonkers brain on other people.
You don't want to traumatize the kids.
Exactly. Because I've had that done to me and it's not fun. And I'm like, oh, that's what I don't need to do. But regardless, if I am put in the position to succeed, like I have a team and I am managing them, I'm going to do my best to win, regardless of what that means. I don't care if I am a full-time head coach, an interim head coach, I'm taking over for a game because somebody's like throwing up in the bathroom. Like, it doesn't matter. You put out your best to win. You have a strategy to win. Your goal is to win, because regardless, you don't know if you're an interim, if you're going to end up a head coach. Like there's so many things that could happen. Why in the hell? And honestly, if this is my last game as an interim, I'm going out on top. I'm going out looking damn good so I get another job. Do you want to retire? That's what that lineup deserved. Not like retirement of the players, of this coach. But he's gone now, so it's fine. But the game started. It was already chippy. They called a handball on Macy Hodge. Taylor Flint almost did it. I almost had it. Taylor Flint hit the penalty and they scored. It's up 1-0. We equalize. Of course, Riley Tiernan scores. Of course she does.
Yep.
Before her call up, of course she does. So Riley Tiernan,
our golden boot race competitor.
Yeah. She scores right after we come back from halftime. So when we go to halftime, they're up 1-0. Whatevs. Like, fine. Now we equalize. Cool. Neat. They score. Emma Sears scored. Savannah DeMello scored within 3 minutes of each other, in the 53rd and the 56th minute. Stupid. There were weird mistakes made. A lot of it was a weird lineup. The vibes were so bad. And then the game went on. And then the hair pull occurred around the 65th, 67th minute. Oh, there was a VA. There was like, there's so much review or non-review of calls. It was insane. Anyway, I don't even remember all the details. It doesn't matter. But they somehow miss the fact that Madison Hammond not only got her hair pulled, she got pulled. Like, your hair is going to get pulled if you have it in a ponytail and you're playing sports. It's just, it gets stuck, like whatever. But if someone like reaches out and yanks it, that's just shit. You don't do that. It's bad sportsmanship. It's an injury waiting to happen. This girl full on jacked her head back. She spun her around, like you said, had her almost in a headlock. Like, it was so egregious. Like, we saw it and it was weird because not everybody could see what happened. So half the stadium is like screaming for a foul, screaming for a red card. The other half is like, what happened? Then they replayed it 900 times on the big screen. And it was like, yeah, send her off. Because what the hell is that? And if I remember correctly, this is the same girl that Merritt full on had a conversation with on the sideline last season. Season before? I don't remember. Last season, yeah. Due to her behavior. And something happened the season before that. And I'm like, girl, why are you like this? Because now you're a liability to your team. And that's the one thing that I credit Madison Hammond for after that. Because if somebody had done that to me, the way I would have been in her face. But Madison knew she was going to get a red card. There was no way they weren't going to review it because it was so bad. Like, we could see it from our seats. You saw her, like, her whole head cock back, all that whole thing. She knew if she retaliated, she's also sent off, and now everybody's playing at 10.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of those moments where you're so mad and you just have to be like, don't do anything until, you know what I mean? Like, the team comes first at this point because now we have an advantage. And then what felt like 9 seconds later, the most ridiculous missed call I have seen in years occurs. I don't know who it was on their team because it doesn't matter because they didn't get the call. This handball, like, the ball gets kicked and you see this girl's arm deflect back. The direction of the ball changes severely. They review it? No. No, we're not going to review it. No VAR. Excuse me? No. Again, as something we could see from the opposite side of the stadium. No call. No foul. No PK. We had the ability to equalize. And granted, we should never have gotten to the point of being down 3-1, 3-2. That shouldn't have happened, but that's a different story altogether. But we should have been able to have the opportunity to equalize with a PK. No one is denying that except that referee. And then we lose 3-2 and everybody goes home mad. The general vibe is ugh. And honestly, guess who didn't get subbed in until the 83rd minute? It's almost like we could have put in players to run a team into the ground because we were up. We had a player on them. Why we were not putting in new legs makes no sense to me. Because if there's one thing you do when the other team is down a player because of a red card, you hurt their feelings. You do every single thing in your ability to hurt feelings. You maintain possession of the ball. You run them into the ground. You run them in circles. You tire them out because you have an extra person. It's just in a game like this, especially subbing in literally anyone, but especially Kristen Press with like 14 seconds left in the game is embarrassing. I don't know if this dude is like ageist for veteran players or what the hell, but like this is so dumb. So dumb. And I tried so hard up until this game to be like, you know what? Shit's weird. Maybe there's stuff I don't know. No, I can actually be honest now, and I'm glad it's over. The experiment is over, and now we have a head coach, and now maybe we can move forward, and maybe something good will happen. Maybe we'll make the playoffs in the top 5. Maybe we can win consecutive games. Maybe we can have a lineup that makes sense. Maybe we can score goals. Maybe we can make substitutions when it makes sense. And not just to appease the masses.
Yes.
Thank you. That's.
I don't know. I don't know
for coming to my TED Talk.
I don't know what stick this guy had up his ass because honestly, like the fact that he didn't put in Press earlier than the like 80 something minute. The entire time until he got this backlash from all the press and everything like that of being like, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. Then he's I forgot she was on the team. What? I should have put her in earlier. No, dude, no. So again, Sam, he's out. He's gone.
Girl, bye.
Granted, they said that he was going to stay on as like part of the coaching team. He's going to be there, but if he just never showed up again,
I'd full on I'd be the person on the team. Don't talk to me. I don't see you.
Yeah.
Like one of those where it's, you and I are talking and then he comes up to try and start entering the conversation. So I'm sorry, do you hear something? What? What? Like I would be so annoyed. He's going to be like trying to yell out like instructions. He's going to be like, God damn it. And then Ellery's going to be like, just do the drill. Fine. Okay, mom. Like that when you're mad at one parent, that kind of thing. Yeah. So people had thoughts. We're going to give you a few of them because I said, it doesn't matter anymore. Nothing matters. Sorry. It was, I mean, it was egregious. The foul was egregious. The handball, I don't understand. There's times when, when you're reviewing, the whole point of VAR is the mandate is it has to be clear and obvious, right? And a lot of times when like these plays that happen where we feel as fans it was fucking clear and obvious, right? And it was so clear and obvious. And as refs, sometimes they're looking at it with the whole letter of the law, and they're like interpreting it and doing, and then like really making their judgment calls as the professionals that they are, right? I get it, right? There's times where it's, look, I don't agree with you. I know you're wrong, but you're the person in the job.
This one was not that.
If
As a player,
ball hadn't changed direction so loudly, like you heard it hit her arm, first of all, and then her arm like swung back, and then the ball like went dunk dunk and made a right turn.
I mean, I understand that if it hits something, it's gonna deflect. The thing is that as a player, as a defender specifically, but as any player on the field, once you're in that box, it is your responsibility to be aware of your body. And most players are going to tuck their arms behind their back, because as soon as that arm lifts
chicken
up,
wings, yeah.
As soon as you chicken wing that thing, or as soon as you go, right? Like it.
Yeah.
You are making yourself abnormally big. And that is a direct no. That is not your natural position.
And
That's
if you're
not
going to call a handball that barely anybody saw, that barely happened in the first half, you sure as hell better call the second one.
Yeah.
When the ball gets like freaking thrown into the stands. But what do I know?
Don't think your red car for a freaking hair pull was the like evening out of the game.
Yeah.
No.
Like you got to call all the big stuff, not just the one that could have injured somebody very badly.
but badly, yes. Okay.
What did people say, Mario?
Our prompt was just, what was that? You know, what it could have gone. It could have gone with expletives, but it was just, what was that? So Ethan, our haiku master, came in with racing laid the smackdown, cornerbacks without support, and where are the subs? And I did that. He gave us a little note tip afterwards. It should be layeth, but layeth doesn't meet the syllable count.
Yeah, I had written this correctly, but
Dustin just came in with like ugly all around. It was just an ugly match. That's exactly when I asked. I was like, "What's going on, everyone? I'm not watching the game," and everybody says it's a shit game. You're just.
It was essentially just like boo, just don't watch.
And then after the game, after everybody was so pissed off, the thread devolved into everybody's comfort.
Yeah, emotional
comfort
support,
remedy.
fast food on the way home, Del Taco for some,
pie for others,
In-N-Out. What's your order here? Yeah, we dove deep into peak fast food.
Yes. I mean, gotta get our mind off of it. Max came in with Sam Lady going out in style, and by style I mean stripes with plaid. Yikes. And then Max came in again after that and said, finally watched the game properly. Not even going to VAR for that handball is flat out insulting to ACFC. Ange needs to be more aggressive on set pieces. Our central defense is just astonishingly bad this year in transition, which I have faith at Strauss to fix because it seems fixable. Madison Hammond is a good attacker, and I feel a way about that. MA as a forward is so much more effective than Giselle as a forward. More experience, and it shows in her positioning and her willingness to take chances. But hopefully with Svendis, we won't have to see either lineup there. So that was a long one, but we agreed.
Yes.
And then we did get a couple of them on Instagram. Mirna came in and it was hell. And no call on that Avia's handball actually changed the trajectory of the ball. The new coach can't start fast enough. If we all pitch $5, can he start tomorrow? And Alma came in with bull, and not that we should have relied on the handball. That wasn't, but what the F. And then and
there's a lot more, but it was a lot of the same.
A lot of the same of the ref screwed us, and what was that game? And all right. The other thing that the Discord devolved into after we talked about emotional support food and orders and stuff was strategies of sage, how to sage the place, how to cleanse it, get the bad juju out after that game. So hopefully everybody did their cleanse.
I went by, what night was it? What night was Eva's show? Eva played up in Highland Park on Sunday night, and we were driving home, and we were driving down Fig because there was weird stuff on the freeway. And BMO was like this beautiful bright pink. Just the inner lights were just on because they keep them on at night. And
oh, it's probably the glow lights.
No, it wasn't the grow lights. Those are different colors. Those aren't pink. Like it was like neon pink. It wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't the like orangey.
Yeah.
Orangey pink that looks like Soul Rose said. No, it was like this. Like I don't know how to describe this. Pink. It was very like deliberately pink. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe it's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Get the bad stuff out. We got new stuff coming in. The Strauss era has begun.
Yes.
Officially.
The Strauss era has begun. So let's preview our first Strauss era match, which is going to be this weekend against Chicago Stars. Take it away.
Yeah. So I really think that this last week was like a much needed mental break for the team. Physically, for people to recover, emotionally, for people to recover, mentally, for people to recover. There's been so much that has happened to this team this season, good, bad, and otherwise. And like, I hope that this like week and a half of just kind of figuring out the new normal is helpful, is grounding, is rejuvenative, was just good for the team because they deserve it. And I think we all do. I think we all needed it because I'm actually really glad we didn't record an episode after that game because I would have been big mad the whole time, just pissed. But no, I think it's really, I really hope now this is like a good new, not necessarily a fresh start, but like when you come back from a really good vacation and then you take an extra day off work to recover from traveling and your house and, you know, do the things you need to do before you go back to work. And then you get there and you're like, oh, okay, I'm like a normal human again. Cool. Like, that's what I hope this was. So Chicago is dealing with some stuff as well.
Yeah.
Mal is out on maternity leave after like the whole first part of the season. Nobody knew why she wasn't there. It was just personal. So whatever was happening in the early stages of her pregnancy, I hope she's all right. He's been playing with the Cubs, so he's, you know, at least doing something there because he was out for a few games too. But they're missing the person they built the team around, which is interesting. And because of, well, not because of this only, there's a few other things, but they're currently in last place and they lost 4 of the last 5 games. And so they only have 4 points on the season and their goal differential is -16. And this makes me so sad for Alyssa Nair. And let me say, for the majority of the team, like a team doesn't deserve this, but I don't think their ownership and front office is setting this team up to succeed. Lauren could only do so much when they didn't really make any offseason moves. They didn't do anything to reestablish their defense and, you know, do all these things that like you do in the offseason to better your team.
Is Lauren still there?
No.
Yeah.
They let Lauren
right?
go. Like,
yeah,
you expected him to make magic. And he is magic. Like, he's done so much for women's soccer, both here in the States, in Colorado, with the Jamaican national team, who also were not getting what they deserved. Like, I don't like it. It feels messy. Both the Chicago teams for women's sports right now, what are you doing? The Sky and the Stars. I don't like what's happening in your front offices, and I need you to get it together for the betterment of the league and the sport and the team and your fans. But yeah, the good thing is Chicago still has really good players. Like, regardless of what the team is doing, you still have Alyssa Nair to deal with, and she's just, I mean this in the most like wonderful way, that she's a freak of nature. She's so insanely good. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't understand how you're like this, but I love every part of it. That's all. That's just Alyssa Nair.
I mean, Alyssa, you can't, with Alyssa Nair there, and with the history of Alyssa Nair, with the lore, with the legend of Alyssa Nair, right? You can't read too much into that -16 goal differential on her.
Right.
And as we know, when a goal differential gets really big,
There's bigger issues.
It's really because the entire team is Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Like, people are just cutting through you. And like a goalie can only do so much to stop shots that are being kicked at them, right?
As we've talked about for the last 2.5 years with Didi and Angelina, like, you can only do so much if your midfield can't stop the ball from coming at you, you know, or if your defensive line can only do so much if they're just getting peppered with shots. And, you know, there's only so much you can do. And I think that's the situation for that goal differential right now. But I mean, the defense.
Yeah.
Sam Stopp is back. And this is not just, oh, cool, she's back. It's like a she's back kind of thing. She's a defender. She'll be wearing number 3. She had 3 consecutive Iron Women seasons. That's so hard. 3 years consecutively. With increasing amount of games each year.
All 90 minutes, every single game.
Plus, every minute of every game. And then that 4th year, last season, she got hurt and was out for the rest of the season. Insane. She's such a good defender. And with Mal being on maternity leave, with Lauren not there, her leadership as a veteran is so important. It's so important to have steady, calm, like, mature players on your back line for a variety of reasons, obviously, but especially when it comes to leadership on the field. That's why you see the Becky Sauerbruns, the Ali Kriegers, like the people we look to as, oh yeah, those are our captains. Because it's Sarah Gordon, it's Ali Riley, you know, like, it's Naomi Girma. They are all just like staunch defenders and so calm and so steady, and that's Sam Stopp. So I'm glad she's back. I'm not glad for us.
When you say she's back, are you saying she's back from SEI like this year, or she's back like this week? No,
this year, this season.
Okay.
But it's a big deal just because.
So she's still part of that 4-point team this season, but but she's a good
she's a good part of it. The organization of the backline is going to be crucial, though, because we actually have a very nicely created attack, and I think it's going to be even more well organized this weekend. So I'm curious how this is going to pan out for them. And like I said, as much as I love Alyssa Nair, as much as I love defense, like, I hope we ruin you. I hope. Please just let us have this. It's Pride Night.
I hope we can add to your goal differential and improve ours, because at one point we were in the positive.
I know, irritating. We're just like, we're doing this. We're up, down, up, down, up, down. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, but at least we're up, down, like within a like 3-4 point range, right? Like,
it's plus 2 to -2. We just keep doing that 5-point jump.
Yeah.
But in the midfield, they have Shea Groom. She wears number 10. Eva refers to her as the NWSL's resident pest. She's just in your pocket all the time. It's the way, like, for me playing basketball, there's always 1 or 2 point guards where it was like, I can't breathe, get away from me. And that's how I feel about Shea Groom. She's just there. Like, I have in the notes, she's always the most annoying player on the pitch. And in the parentheses, it's like complimentary. I don't mean that direct. Like, you want to be that player. As somebody who's like more of a defensive midfielder, you want to be annoying. You want to piss off the other team. Then you get the fouls called. Then you get the free kicks. You know, there's a positive feature to being annoying in sports.
It's a tactical pest.
Yes.
Not
an invasive
pest.
one.
There we go. Invasive. Invasive is a nicer word.
I deal with invasive pests all day at work. But she's just a very clever player. She's one of those people that you're like, she's here, she's there, she's every effing where, like that, where you're like, why are you over there? I was watching, what game was I watching? I think it was the national team game. And I was like, why is Alyssa in that corner? Like, where did she come from? Oh, no. It was the Los Angeles City game. I was like, why is she over here? Why did she run diagonally? I was so confused. But you have those players that just pop up everywhere. It's a blessing for that team. It's a curse for every other. So again, they have great players. They're just going through some things. And then last but not least, Ludmilla, number 14. She is a forward. I shake my head because Brazilians are different. Like, they're built different in their souls. And I don't know if anybody saw the video that came out of the Brazilian camp over this international break. It was very funny. It's, who do you want to have tea with every morning? Marta. Who gets up earliest out of everybody? Marta. And it's all the different players. It's hysterical, and it was so cute. But Ludmila had an amazing, very exciting showing in the Olympics with Brazil. She's just great. She's a forward, so she's going to be very much in our face and give our defense an issue, along with Shea Groom. Like I said, Shea's more of a defensive midfielder, but she's just an everywhere midfielder, honestly. She's going to be a pest for our defense as well. But Ludmila comes in with a different type of experience, in the sense that she's been playing in the NWSL, but her experience at a very high international level is extra valuable given everything that's going on in Chicago, because she's going to be able to mark different players differently, because she's, I played against them in this league. I played against them at this friendly. I've watched film on this. You have a different level of experience coming in when you're on a national team, because you have different exposure. You're playing against China, you're playing against Jamaica, you're playing against Nigeria. You're just like popping around different places, and it's really neat. But that's my preview of the Red Stars. I almost started singing the song from the Yes Network, which is the network. It's like the Yankees Entertainment something. Like, it's the station that plays the Yankee games in New York, and Eva streams it on the MLB app, so it's like constantly on if the Yankees are playing. So it's in my head constantly. Sorry, Dodger fans. I'm still a Dodger fan. Don't worry. Nothing has changed. I watched the series. It was great. Okay, so I'm wearing a very depressing Angel City shirt. I just realized that it's Mario and I have similar shirts from this first season that someone made, where it's like the front line, the midfield, and the defense. He is the front line. He's the forwards. I have the defense, RIP, this lineup of Vanessa Gilles, Megan Reed, Paige Nielsen, and Allie Riley. I mean, we still have two, and they're great. But
yeah, we have two, one active, but yeah. Yeah,
one active, one trying to be active, but we'll see. Okay, so for us, this is like I'm trying to get back to our regular way of talking about players and teams and all that good stuff. So I'm going to start with Angelina, our goalkeeper, number 19. One of the tallest keepers in the league. She's 6 feet tall. She's got a crazy wingspan. I love it. So I mentioned Alyssa Nair earlier. Your job as a goalkeeper gets like way more intense when you're facing up against her, just because she's Alyssa Nair. Honestly, it's one of those things where it's like you rise to your competition, and regardless, I don't care about their goal differential. It's 0-0 every game. And I'm so curious how coming out of the U23 camps, that did for Angelina.
That's true. She did get the call up for U23.
So I'm curious what that's going to mean. She's going to need to be a brick wall because they have firepower. Because if Alyssa Nair stops a goal, Angelina better stop a goal. It's like one of those things where it's like, I would be so in my head. I don't think I could be a keeper. I think I'd be good at it, but I think I would be like crazy. But Angelina, she's doing so well, and I really hope that the call-ups and everything are really good for her and like a learning experience, and she can come back after this U23 camp, come in with Strauss. We have a new coach, we have a new system. Like, I hope this is just beneficial for her. But yeah, everybody knows I love Angelina Anderson, like Big Ange to Big Ange, high five. We love you. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that she got the call up is that, there was something there that, we see.
We know
what's there. We know. Yes, there has been some rocky starts last year. There's been some rocky games here. I mean, our goal differential's kind of in that like even, that even point. Mm-hmm. But we see the potential and the greatness there, right? And so does the national team. Like they called her in for training camp. They called her in, might not be starting or backup, but still
but
enough
you're
to
there
be like,
with
you're
like
there
Fallon, you're there with, what's her name? McGlynn. You're there with big names. You're there with Jane Campbell. You're there learning from big coaches. You're on the big stage. You get that experience, and it changes your mindset. It changes the way you handle things, and you grow from it.
Yeah.
Or you don't, but you don't get those call-ups if you don't. And she keeps doing it, so that's a good thing.
Yep.
The future. And then moving into the defense. We've talked about her a little bit already. We all know she's one of our favorite players. Friend of the pod. Friend of the merch store. Number 16, Emme Vignola. She's so tenacious. I honestly think that's probably the best word for her. She's just spunky and tenacious, and like she's one of those who has that dog in her. She's just gonna dig in and fight for those balls and fight for a lot. Her position on the field, her starting position, like she doesn't quit. She's had a little bit of a slower start to the season, which makes sense given that over the last couple of years she's started and stopped given injury and whatever. But this is the most consistent she's been playing. So sometimes it takes a little bit for your body to adjust, for your brain to adjust. And I think she's like ready to hit her stride. So I really think that this international break is going to be like peak for her to reset. Because it's just going to be like, okay, I have a break. I can breathe. I can take a minute. And now, like, game on.
Yeah.
And I will say she should also be getting call-ups. That's it.
Yeah. There's quite a few players that we think should be getting call-ups, right?
I don't know why she got the one call-up and she hasn't been called up again. Especially when you have Emma Hayes saying out loud with her chest to the public that Emma is one of the best defenders. So, come on. Emme Vignola truther forever. But no, I think she's going to have a great game. I think the second push of the season, I feel like this for me in my brain is the halfway point. Granted, like we still have another month before we take the big break.
The big break, yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, oh no. But it's because of the changeover for Angel City. Like the second half of the season starts this month.
Yes.
And I'm very excited to see what happens.
As we said, the Strauss era.
Yeah.
Strauss era. It's a whole new ball game, whole new everything, whole new idea. So let's run with it. Let's give it the runway that it needs. And MA will be running up and down that thing. So let's go.
Definitely. So the last person I'm going to talk about is someone we haven't been able to see too much this season because she's had a little bit of a knock the last month or so. But our Scottish Shrek, the queen of most of our hearts, honestly, Claire Emsley, number 10, one of our strikers. If you don't love Claire, I don't know what's wrong with you. Just in a more quiet personality, but like she's just gritty. And gritty in a different way than American players are gritty. There's a difference between like European players and American players just in the way the game is played. But because she played college ball here and it's come up through the NWSL, it's like this combo of finesse gritty and also grit. Well, she'll body you into the sun, but also will say thank you. And up until this season, and I honestly think this is a good thing because it means other people are scoring, but up until this season, she's been a huge part of our attack, like the engine of our attack, essentially. Once Kristen went down, when Sid, all the things, Claire was the one to step up. And now, like, she can kind of take a breather a little bit. And like I said, she's had a little bit of a knock, but I hope that she's able to come back in this second part of the season and just have more fun and get the balls she needs to score and get on the stat sheet that way. Because it's weird that she hasn't scored yet, but it's also not when you look at the fact that 4 other people have been scoring regularly and nobody's mad at that. Claire had a fast start last season.
She had a fast start last season. There was a reason why she was in that kind of leaderboard of the Golden Boot, but now, like you said, with the fact that our our whole lineup is building up to what we ideally would want that lineup to be, she doesn't have to carry it. Like, she was carrying the load last season.
Like, her whole everything, she was carrying it. Yeah.
Yeah. And this season, it's spread out a lot more. Like, in the last couple seasons, when we've kind of done end of year look backs and look at who's been scoring, the last couple years, it's only been like 2 or 3 people really scoring.
Yeah.
And then everybody else was there supporting, right? But there was only like 2 or 3 people attacking that had more than 2 goals on the season. This season, I think it's kind of spreading out a bit more.
Yeah. Riley Tiernan, Alyssa Kennedy, Katie Zellum, Kirsten Press. I think that Macy Hodges scored. Like, yeah. That's more people in a season that have scored than the last 4 years combined, it feels. You know, we've already, I want to say we've eclipsed goals scored of last season. It feels like it, maybe emotionally. We're close, though.
Definitely. But we're probably close, if not past it already.
Yeah.
The only reason it's not showing up is that, you know, we've also let in about the same number of goals. We have that team to very much be that 8, 9, 10 goal differential team, right? But yeah, and so yeah, with Claire, like, hopefully, like, when she fully gets into the flow of things, hopefully we get a bunch of pieces that we can juggle around, and then they all just work.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and I feel like that's what we have. And I feel like with Strauss coming in, you have someone who's used to doing things on a little bit of a bigger stage and having to manage bigger names like that. So I hope, please don't let me be wrong, I hope this is what happens. I really don't want to be wrong, guys. Again.
Yes. I don't even know how to follow that up.
Yeah.
But yes. Yeah, we just want the fan base, the city just wants this to be a good team.
Been through too much this year, as Angelinos. Just give us this nice thing.
We've been through too much with the team over the last 4 years. This year in particular, though, for just LA has been rough. So yeah, just we need good. We need good for the city.
Absolutely.
And we need good for the city with this team, right? There's going to be good for the city with other teams around all over LA, from the colleges to the professionals. That's all good. They can have their moment. We need our moment.
Absolutely. But the good thing is, come in to this game with a winning record. We've won thrice. We've had 1 draw and 2 losses. So we're on the winning side of this. I would love to make it a 4th win.
Yes. And, you know, given their record at the moment, it can very well be a 4th win. And you know what? I really do hope that it is, 1, our 4th win against them. 2, is just becomes that confidence booster that launches us.
I hope it's an assertive win for the team. Granted, like, an assertive win usually means I hope we score 1 million goals. And it does. But at the same time, I hope it's one of those wins where you look at each other after the game ends and you're like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted. And that's exactly what we got. That's what I hope it is, truly.
Okay. So, assertive win.
Yes.
On Pride Night.
Yes.
And the 4th win over Chicago. So,
yes.
Let's go. And let's get that fine and put the original pride numbers
put
on
the big pride numbers on our shirts. And also, this is really random, but for anybody who listens, Eva and I have started card collecting, like baseball cards, soccer cards, women's basketball cards. So if anybody wants to like talk cards, feel free to DM me. I should have said this at the top.
And we also have people like Aaron.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I forgot which.
We've been talking.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like we're in with the card folks that we know, but I'm just saying, if anybody else wants to talk about, not necessarily trading cards, because I'm being very particular about, I'm buying singles for the most part, but it's really exciting. We've made date nights out of this. It's a very good, very chill idea. So if anybody wants to steal it, by all means, have fun. But that's all. Take us home, Mario.
All right. So once again, this is our match preview of our match Saturday, June 6th against the Chicago Stars at BMO Stadium, 7 p.m. This is always weird that we start at 7 p.m. and most of the MLS games start at 7:30.
I don't know.
That's just 7 p.m. game.
My coworker asked me if I watched the LAFC game this weekend, and I looked at him and I said, "Ricky, I don't watch men's soccer." He was like, "Dang,
Don't
homie."
You know? Don't you know?
He was like, "Dang, I thought you were just like into sports," and I was like, and I was like, "But my friend's a season ticket holder."
She doesn't care for the men's.
I don't care.
Footy.
And he was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Y'all are too dramatic." And he went, "Okay, yeah."
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
okay, BMO, 7 p.m. on the 7th. Let's go.
On the 6th.
Nope, the 7th. Friday is the 6th. You didn't say it at the beginning, so it's fine.
Okay. I'm trying. 7 p.m. It's going to be streaming on ION TV. It's going to be on the radio with iHeartRadio. Listen to Isaac and Tracy if you can't be there, or watch it on TV. It's also going to be on 13:30 a.m. for the Spanish broadcast. It is Pride Night, so there's going to be a fan fest. The SGs are going to be there way earlier. Fan fest is going to start at 3 p.m. Lots of fun activities. Check out the Instagram. You'll see what's going on. And it's a gate giveaway of the Pride bandana. Usually it's like the first
10,000.
They haven't released how many people.
10,000. It's usually 10,000. I'm stressed.
So get there early.
I'm trying.
I remember last year it was also a very low number and everybody was stressed. So I got there. That was like the one of the few
That's
games
one of
that
those
I
things
got
where I'm
there
like,
really early.
No, we need this for everyone. Heineken. Because you're probably the sponsor again this year.
You needed 22,000 of them. You should have just put them on the seats.
Yes. Yeah, don't do a gate giveaway because it's stressful. Put them on the seats. And that way we know if somebody doesn't come, we can take it.
Okay, with all of that, if you've listened to this fairly long episode, then you probably like what you're hearing. And you know what? Hit that subscribe button from wherever you're listening to on whatever podcast platform, whatever. If you're watching it on YouTube, you know, there is a button for you to keep getting what we're doing. So hit that button. Check out casualfc.com for any and all of the pod links for if you want to try a different app, and you can find it there. Follow us on our socials. Everything is Casual FC Pod on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, and at casualfc.com on Blue Sky. Come join us on the Discord. Check out our socials for the invite link, or, you know, link in bio, or just DM us. We've had a couple people DM us, and I've sent them the link directly. It's all been great, and it's just kind of a fun way for us to just keep chatting online, and it's fun. Best ways to support the pod: share, comment on any one of our posts, or better yet, go rate us on one of the podcast platforms or on YouTube. It's all about engagement. If you type things, the robot likes it and will tell more people about it.
Yep.
So we have a bunch of merch at the merch store, shop.casualfc.com. It's all there. It's great. We've had fun making a couple things. In a perfect world, we'd put out all the other ideas that we'd had too, but you know, life happens and it is what it is. But we might be trickling stuff out throughout the season. And if you feel so inclined, you can help supporting the pod by buying us a coffee. Check out our link on our socials, or go to buymeacoffee.com/casualfcpod. It's an easy way for you to give us a couple bucks, give us a buck, give us one, give us multiple. Either way, it helps us do what we're doing, you know? And the best part of all of this, tell a friend about the pod. It brings us good luck, and we package that and send it off to the team. And I think Sam was stealing it, so now that he's gone, the team can have more of it.
He took it. Yeah.
And with that,
I don't know what to say to. Yeah, that was wow.
Happy Pride, everyone. We'll see you at the game.
See you Saturday. Bye.